जम्मू आ गए, दिल्ली आ गए, अलग अलग जगह पे आ गए, और अभी सरकार उनको कह रही है फिर से हम
मेरी बात समझ गए क्या सबके साथ मर्डर हो जाता है? क्या सारी बहुएं जला के मार दी जाती?
स्टूडेंट, आज हम बात करेंगे एक ऐसे टॉपिक के बारे में जो मुस्लिम पर्सनल लॉ से रिलेटेड है एंड कॉन्सेप्ट है वक्फ. Why we are discussing with topic? Because recently Parliament of India has passed a law which is the amendment over the Waqf Act of 1995, and the purpose is to make and ensure the proper management of Waqf properties. So the question is, as for law student, what do you mean by Waqf? So basically when we talk about Waqf, we will start from the Quranic concept. There is no such word which was defined under the Quran, Waqf. It started from the concept of Sunnah during the Prophet Muhammad, wherein some kind of arrangement was made, and wherein the person who wants to make charity, because charity is very essential for Muslim personal laws. Everybody who is being a Muslim, he is to do charity to become a Muslim in that perfect sense. So there was an arrangement कि if any person is having a property, whether it is movable or immovable, and he wants to ensure that the public at large is to use this property. Secondly, such person does not intend to sell this property because he wants to ensure that this property is to remain permanently in the same place and the ownership is to be given to the Almighty. The Waqf was originated in this task because whenever any person makes a declaration over his property that he wants to use the benefits of this property for three purposes. One, that is religious purpose, other that is charitable purpose, and the last one, that is pious purpose. The ownership of the property is to be conferred over Almighty. It means there is no person in the earth who is going to hold this property. Once the property is transferred in favor of Almighty and the benefits are ensured toward public at large, this is known as the concept of Waqf in the beginning. So Waqf started from these notions to do the charity, to do the religious task, and the person was free to do as per his wish. The literal meaning of Waqf is to tie up the property permanently. It means once the property is tied up for the Waqf, it will never be alienated. वो हमेशा के लिए बाउंड हो जाएगी और इसका ट्रांसफ़र कभी नहीं हो सकता. It means it will permanently remain there. Now this concept of Waqf, if we compare in our country, so we will discuss this concept from the Constitution of India. Under Article 25 of the Constitution, we have freedom of religion. Under Article 26 of the Constitution, we have the right to administer the property as per the faith of our own religion, to administer, protect and preserve the property as per the faith of the person. Further, under Schedule 7, we have some entries wherein the government is empowered to make laws relating to the charitable property, including the Waqf property. So this is the basic words that can be categorized from the Constitution. Now in India, we can say that the concept of Waqf was incorporated in the concept of codification in 1913. Why this law was originated? Because there was a case of Privy Council. In the case of Abdul Fateh versus Rasme Chaudhary, 1894, the question was arisen, if any person can make a Waqf of his property for his own benefits or for the benefits of his own family members, is it possible? If it is possible, then we can say that it is a Waqf. Privy Council completely denied this concept and said that Waqf can be made only for religious, charitable and pious purpose, and it cannot be created certain kind of benefits for the person who is Waqif, because the person who is creating Waqf is known as Waqif and the person to whom the property is to be managed is called Mutawalli, and the ownership is to be conferred to the Almighty Allah. So this was the case of Privy Council in 1894, where the court clarified that the person who is creating a Waqf for his own family or for his own interest, it is not a Waqf. To reduce the effect of this case, in 1913 we have the Waqf Validating Act of 13, which simply says that now Waqf is also possible if any person is creating Waqf for his own benefits as well as for the benefits which is related to the charitable task. So, the concept of Waqful Aulad came from this 1913. So, now we can say that Waqf can be categorized in three forms. Waqf, that is pure public Waqf, it means all the property is to be used by the public at large. Secondly, it can be the quasi public Waqf, which means partially for religious purpose, partially for public at large, and partially for the benefits of settler who is Waqif and whereas family. The third one would be categorized is the Waqf, wherein all the interest or usufruct is to be given to the family of the Waqif. So, these are the three categories that we are discussing with, because we know in the case of 1913 the concept of private Waqf was created in addition to this public Waqf. Now, in the year of 1930 some amendment was made in this law. Reason being, all those works which were created before 1913 were coming to the ambit of this Rasm-e-Chaudhary case, or from this validating act of 1913 it was questionable. So, in amendment of 1930 the retrospective effect was given to all those Waqf properties which are even the quasi public Waqf or public Waqf or the private Waqf. It is to be valid even if it is made for the benefits of settler. Now, in the year of 1995 we have the first larger initiative after the constitutional domain, and in which the whole legal provisions have been incorporated in a complete law, that is Waqf Act of 1995, wherein the provisions of tribunal was started with. Because whenever any dispute has been arisen related to the Waqf property, the person can directly move to the tribunals. Civil courts are excluded from the jurisdiction to exercise this power. Now, as per section 83 of the Act of 1995, the tribunals were completely empowered, excluding the jurisdiction of civil court. Can we say that we don't have any other authority to decide the dispute of Waqf property? Answer is still yes, we have. We can move to the writ petition, we can move to the High Court and the Supreme Court against the decisions of the tribunals. Now, in the year of 2025, we are having this new law which is still questioned in the Supreme Court of India as to the constitutionality within the ground of Article 26 of the Constitution. So, we will see what would be the result, but presently the status is any Muslim person can make a Waqf of his property to any person including himself or his family. But once a Waqf is always a Waqf, it means once a property is given to the Waqf, it will never be transferred or alienated or revoked by such person or any person. Now, Waqfnama can be registered under the Registration Act of section 17(1)(b) also, and all those persons who want to make a declaration as to the property, whether it is Waqf or not, there must be certain kind of survey which is started to give the authenticity over the intention of the settler. So, we need to go through all kinds of pros and cons of this amendment or this newly introduced law, and what would be the effect, what would be the conclusion remark of the Supreme Court judgment. It will be the matter for the future to discuss about, but presently this is the status which I discussed. This is all. Thanks for watching this.
Subscribe for more content.